Hello, welcome to Darth Dragon Does Math. We're doing algebraic real-world problems and reasoning. So, basically what we're doing is what we did last chapter, except now we've incorporated a little bit of everything. Honestly, it's just more of the same. But we're taking word problems. They've gotten a little bit more challenging, maybe. We're going to write expressions for them, and then if we can, we're going to simplify them. So let's go ahead and get started. I have about 10 minutes before school starts, so hopefully I can get this done before that. All right, go. After Donovan gives Mabel 6 pairs, she has x plus 6 pairs. I believe Donovan gives Mabel 6 pairs, so now Mabel equals x plus 6 pairs. If Mabel gives 1/3 of her pairs to Nelson, so now we're subtracting 1/3 of x plus 6. How many pairs in terms of x does Nelson have? Well, that's what Mabel has, or subtract really what Nelson has is this. I hope that's obvious where I got that. So x plus 6 is what Mabel has. Gives 1/3. Gives means to subtract. Subtract 1/3 of, multiply 1/3 times x plus 6. Now, we're going to want to simplify that, I believe, to x over 3 plus 2. Now, where I found that was distributing the 1/3. 1/3 times x is x over 3. 1/3 times 6, basically 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that is how many pairs Nelson has. Nelson has x over 3 plus 2 pairs. There are n apples in a box, but 5 apples are too green to eat. Aaron and Barry share the ripe apples in a ratio of 2 to 3. How many ripe apples does Barry get? So we start out with n. And we're going to lose 5 because they're just not quite ready. Then Aaron and Barry share the ripe apples in a ratio of 2 to 3. Now, we haven't talked about ratios this year, but we have in the past. I just want to remind you that 2 to 3, this corresponds directly with the order of which the names appeared. Basically, 2 to 3 is Aaron and Barry, just like that. So how many ripe apples did Barry get? So he got 3 parts. Remember, this is 3 parts out of, not 3 out of 2 or 2 out of 3. It's 3 parts out of 5 parts, meaning 2 parts here, 3 parts here, 2 plus 3 is 5. So basically, the apples was in a ratio of 5, some number multiplied by 5, and he got 3/5 of them. Another way to think about that is we have 1, 2, 3, 2 to 3. He got 3 parts out of the 5 total. And I hope that makes sense. If not, please tell me tomorrow. So we got 3/5, and how many ripe apples did Barry get? So 3/5 n minus 5, and we like to distribute that 3/5 n, and then 3 times, well, I'll just write it like this, 3/5 times 5 over 1. The 5's cancel out, so that's equal to 3/5 n minus 3 apples. We love our fruit today. All right, so that's those two. Go ahead and attempt these right here. On the back, we have oh yeah, I'm supposed to call these master problems. One number is n, and the second number is 2n plus 2, and a third number is n plus 6, less than the second number. Express the sum of the 3 numbers in terms of n. So let's start with the first number. The first number is n. The second number is 2n over 3 plus 2. And the third number is n plus 6 less than the second number. So it's basically 2n over 3 plus 2 minus n plus 6. Express the sum of the 3 numbers in terms of n. So basically what I'm doing is I'm adding all these together. I'm recording a video. All right. So, sorry about that. That was loud. So I got to add these n's together. I have n plus 2n over 3 plus 2/3 n minus n over 6. Okay, so basically what I've done is taken all the n's and I'm going to add those together. Really, that's the negative has to come with that. And then I'm going to add the 2's together, the whole numbers. That just, if I put them in order of n's and 2's, it makes it a little easier. Obviously, 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. Now, I have to find a common denominator between all these fraction n's. It's going to be 6. So this one right here is like 6 over 6. That's 1n. This one right here is not 2, so let's write it over here. 6 over 6n is the first one. This one needs 3 times 2 is 6, so that's going to be 4 6n. This is the same thing, so plus 4 6n. And this is minus n over 6. So let's add all the top numbers together. Obviously, it's going to be over 6, the answer. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 4 is 14, minus 1 is 13. So this is 13 over 6n. 13 over 6n, and remember we have the plus 4. So 13 over 6n plus 4 is the sum of the 3 numbers, and I'm done! Try that one. This one right here on your own. Very similar to this one. There are an equal number of boys and girls in a group of 80 children. So we have 80 kids, and there's an equal number of boys and girls. That means there's basically 40 boys and 40 girls. Within the group, P% of the boys and Q% of the girls wear glasses. So P% wear glasses of the boys, Q% of the girls. Write an algebraic expression for the number of children who do not wear glasses. Factor any terms with a common factor. Okay, let's do this. All right, so first off, this is kind of odd. This is 1p%. All right, so I'm going to put a 1 there because I think it helps this next part. Remember, we don't like things in percentages. We like things in decimals. If you have something, put it under the door. I'm recording. Just come back. This is why I don't do this before school. All right. Anyways, so 1p%. So I'm going to write that as 0.01p. Now remember, if I say 1%, that's equal to 0.01. That's basically what I'm doing right here. I'm moving the decimal twice to the left of this percentage. Now I have a decimal p. 0.01 q, decimal q. Alright, so now to the next thought process. This percent of boys and this percent of girls. So basically we have 40 boys at 0.01% p. Plus, and then well, actually, I don't know if it's plus. We'll get to that in a second. So, and then 40 girls at 0.01 q. Multiply 40 times 0.01. That's going to be 0.4 p, and then the girls is going to be 0.4 q. So we have that. This is how many kids wear glasses right here, because that was P% of boys and girls wear glasses. So I want the percent that don't wear glasses. So remember, there were 80 total kids, right? We're going to subtract this from 80. So 0.4p plus 0.4q. And then finally it says factor any terms with the common factor. So 0.4 and 0.4. That's my common factor that I need to factor. So it's going to be 80 minus 0.4 p plus q. And I'm finally done. Don't wear glasses. Alright, and I made it before the bell, just barely, with a couple interruptions. I hope that makes sense. Again, any point That none of these videos make. If it loses you, pause, take a second, go back. The reason they're recorded is because you have as many times as you need to watch them. And I just hope you guys realize that. Have a good day. Get out there and do some math. Bye-bye. Maybe.